Okay, so just picking up where I left off about 10 minutes ago. So I just uploaded the videos now. So this is the database task. I'm going to quickly go through, again, I was trying to set the table up and it was actually, the number wasn't quite right. It's not a problem, I can do that. I'm going to quickly, this is quite a big bit, the report, so I'll try and do that in this video, and then there's just a few other things like the labels. I'll just see how far I go. One thing, if you're getting bored of my voice, if you type in ICT, IGCC, ICT, and then paper 1 or paper 2 or paper 3 and the year, you will get a YouTube video of other people explaining it. So that's just something to bear in mind. But with the database tasks, they'll pretty much absolutely certain they'll be using Microsoft Access. So that's just why it's that's why I'm doing the videos anyway, just to try and help you, obviously. But the database task in particular, because it is slightly different from Access now. Right. So where I left it before is I had the spreadsheet. I had the spreadsheet open, copied and pasted it. Now I've got the table in now. I'm just going to paste it again just to go through what I did. So it's table 2. Use first line. Okay. Use first line as column names. Okay, I did that, and it was this bit here, and it was with price. I mean, it was one of those things where, when I was used to do programming, it just knew that double meant, if you say a number is a double, it means it can have a number point something. So out of all of them, that's the one that I would go for if it was currency. If it was Access, it would actually say currency, but unfortunately, because we're using this LibreOffice, we just have to know that. But that it's double. Double would work. But so again, special would be Boolean. Products. And the funny thing is, actually, it's not funny at all. But you could have number integer. I just happen to know means it's a number without a decimal point, so it's like almost like the opposite of a double. But for the purpose of this, just put number. Stock, I would just put number, and I think that was it. Reorder, actually, I think was a number. That's the special was a Boolean. I think that's it. I think it was product, stock. Okay, so if I click create, I'll click no for the primary key. Wrong data type, let's have a look. Product, it was products. Hang on. Product, I think is text actually. So I'm not going to go through it again. So basically, when I got to that point, product, I think I put that as text. Sorry, as a number, it should be text. Basically, it should look like that. Yeah, product was text. So actually it was code, so it is actually, I should have just looked there. Okay, but that's basically it. So that's your table. And in code, I just right clicked and did primary key. So that's your table, and it's in and it works. So the next bit, which actually does take quite a bit. Okay, right, next bit, add 3 records. Well, all you do there, 3 new records, so you double click on table, go down to the bottom, and you should be able to click. It's not letting me do it. Let's have a look. Okay, it is now. I just clicked, and all of a sudden it worked. So you're just entering those 3. So 352 India and so on. So just enter it exactly like that. Save the database, right. Now this bit here, produce a report. Okay, here we go. This is probably, I'm going to imagine I've just entered those 3 records. So now normally I'm doing this as I'm going along. If I click on reports, I've actually already done that just in that last sort of 10 minutes or so when I was uploading the videos. I think simply because, oh my god, it's very slow. Right, now you need to look at that and think, what do you have to do? Do the bits that you know you can do, and then the bits that seem quite complicated, if you get time, then try to do that. Now, it says here, produce a report. So if it says report, then you can be fairly certain you could probably just go straight into reports and then just use the query wizard. So I'm basing it, so it's information from the table. Now what it says is, so again, you need to read through it all first. So the first thing is, right, show only records, only country code products. So you don't want that one which was notes. Okay, so you want everything else other than notes. So you would copy everything over, do notes, and click back. Okay. Okay, so you could do a really basic report that just shows all of this stuff here. You know, let's say this one here, and you'd get a few marks for that, but when you're doing a report, you've got things like this. Stock 50 or less. Product is not a special order. So despite what I just said about, you know, if you're doing a report, you would imagine you would go straight to reports, but with a database, a lot of the time a report is based on a query. Right, so what that means is, if I double click on that, so there's a query there, and this is another query. What's this query? Okay. So on this query here, the reorder number is, the stock number is either 50 or less. And this special bit here is all 0. Okay, so what do I mean? So if I right click on that and do edit, so stock is either less than or equal to 50, and special is nothing, is 0. So if I come back to the original one, so special is 0, and stock is either 50 or less. So if you notice, there are a lot of numbers that are more than 50. So on this report that we have to do, you actually have to do the query before you do the report. Now, I just started to do the report just to show that you could do a basic one, but you'd only get sort of, you know, what, I don't know, 2 marks out of 10, something like that. So what we need to do first is a query with that, okay, that shows records with stock is 50 or less and is not a special order. Then we would do the report based on that. Okay, I'm hoping this is not getting too confusing. So again, this is one of these things where if you're not sure, it's one of those things where you can email, I can laminate and put it on the table. You know, you do the query first and then the report. So right, I'm doing a query. I'm doing a query based on this table here. If I click next, it might actually say to sort it, sort the data by country. So actually, even at this bit, sort by country, okay. Right, so this is where we do this bit. Stock is 50 or less, product is not a special order. So stock is equal or less than 50, and special is equal to 0. Click next, 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 and finish. Okay, so that has worked. So before you've even done the report, you've done this query here. So, and then as you're going along, just take screenshots like that. So even if you don't do the report, you would get a mark just for doing that, because you've actually done the query. So now you do report, you use the wizard, and you base it on that query that you've just done. Now I've not been naming these very well actually. So the query that there's actually two the same. Table 1, 2. Okay, that'll do. So do a report, and I'm going to base it on that one. And do it with that. Okay. So now I can do the report. Now it will say, okay, that's that. Next. Sorry. Grouping levels, I don't think we need to. Sort options. Right, okay, so we'll have to do that again. Country, ascending order, choose layout. I'll just do like that. And create report. And now I've got about 4 minutes of this video. So I'll try and do most of this one when it wakes up. I'll try and do the rest of this one. Might just do a short video. Okay. Stock, so that looks alright. It's sorted by country: Ceylon, China, India. So it has actually sorted the countries to done. Okay. So that's quite a large part of it done. I think it should be that one. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. You can rename the report. In fact, I'm going to rename it just to make it easier. I'll just call it report 1. Okay, so right, there we go. So this is the next bit, right? Contains, this is the bit where you do a bit of calculation. It's a little bit different. A new field called cost, calculated at runtime. This field, and at runtime, it means when the report is run, it works something out. Okay, the field will calculate the price multiplied by the reorder quantity. Alright, so it's price times by reorder quantity. So I'm just going to right click and do edit. Now I have done this just whilst I was uploading the other videos, just to go to go through the I'll just go through the motions of doing it again. Okay. But it seems like let's try that again. It seems okay. So this is what your kind of report looks like. Okay, before it's printed out. So you can make this a bit bigger. Detail. These are the headings here, and these are your actual data. Okay. Again, this is a LibreOffice thing. If you click Properties, right, and you can sort of resize that. But we will. What you need to do then is add a label field. And this is a bit weird. You should be able to double click and type, but you can't. There, you actually have to go there and type cost. Okay, because we need to work out cost. Now that's called a label field. A text box, that's where you're going to put the actual numbers in. Okay, so I'm going to pause this video here. And the next video, what we'll do, I'll show you how you work out cost. And you're going to times reorder by stock, I think reorder button price, and you're going to put the amount in there. Okay, so I'll pause this